Good morning. I believe we're to the last small assignment for your project 2 before you submit your full final paper. Now, if you've done everything up to this point, done a reasonably good job of it, your final paper should be at least about halfway written between the outline that you've done, the various submissions that you've had for the history, the industry that it competes in, and the strategy of the company. And now I'm going to have you write the introduction and conclusion. And I've done this again early on. You know, when I would use this full paper assignment, I found that the intros and conclusions weren't very satisfactory on a typical basis, and so I decided to make that a separate assignment, small one. Relatively low value, but then something I could check and remind people. And I'm surprised how many times that I would make a note on somebody's outline that they didn't have the proper stuff for intro and conclusion, and then I would make a comment on their intro and conclusion assignment that they still didn't have the proper stuff, and then in their final paper they still wouldn't update it. So please read your feedback, okay, and please make changes then if there are some that are recommended in that feedback. So a couple things about the introduction and conclusion. I'm adamant about this. I believe, and I think most writing places would tell you too, that we need to summarize both in the intro and the conclusion the major points of our paper. Okay. The summary doesn't have to be in depth. It can't be, right? You don't have a lot of space. You want to save space for your financial analysis, and so your summary can be simple. It can be, I'm going to tell you about the history, the industry, the strategy of this company, followed by a detailed financial analysis, and in the end make a recommendation about the company itself and whether we should invest in that. Okay, so you must tell us what you plan to tell us. There should be other things in the introduction. You know, one of the things that I had you do early on was go and tell me, you know, based on their annual report, you know, what is it that the company does? Yeah, that might be a nice way to start it off. You know, and if you want to add a little more detail about the history, industry and strategy, or the financials of the company, you can sure do that in the introduction. Now, in the conclusion, again, you summarize that. You know, I've told you about those things, right? Okay, but you may want to add a little bit more detail about some of the things you came up with, especially in your financial analysis, right? You know, what were some important things that are happening in that company that may make you want to buy, sell, or hold the investment that you may want to have or have in that particular company. And ultimately, that's what you're going to do, and that's what you have to do in the conclusion. Now, at this point, if you haven't made that decision, perhaps you haven't completed your analysis. That might be possible at this point in time. If you want to just say, you know, I haven't come to my conclusion yet, my recommendation, I haven't come to my recommendation yet. If you want to put that in your concluding paragraph, that's fine. Okay, I get that, because maybe you haven't made up your mind yet about your company and whether or not you think people should invest in it. So make sure you put those things all in there. Write well, again, so I don't have to correct a lot of spelling, grammar, capitalization, etc. Please do those things. I'm going to cut this off now. I think I'll send out a little video today and kind of get into a little bit more of analysis and some of the things on the financial side that I want you to look for. So thanks and good luck.